Welcome to Off the Cut, a podcast where we talk about building, making,
and answering all of your questions.
I'm Eric from Spenceley Design Co.
And I'm Zach from Zach Builds. If you have a question that you would like us to answer on air, you can send it to offthecutpodcast@gmail.com.
You can find both of us on YouTube, Instagram, and unfortunately, because we have to keep up with kids, you can find us on TikTok too.
All right, now let's get into the show.
Oh, this is where I start.
That's you.
Hey, we're trying something out new. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Off the Cut episode 43. We're up in Canada. Today is known as Tuesday, December 13th, 2022. But here in Ohio, today is respectfully dedicated to the food of the day, not cream pies, but cream cheese frosting.
Oh, okay. I like cream cheese frosting, so I am perfectly okay with that.
Yeah, I feel like cream cheese frosting is one of the few frostings that doesn't just taste like nasty chemicals.
Yes, correct. Although I don't like it when it gets a little too cream cheesy. I like it when there's just like a hint of the cream cheese in there.
Yeah, I'm there more for the texture.
Yes, I love the texture, especially. You know what my favorite is to get something that's glazed with a cream cheese sauce. Put it in the fridge, and then the next day it's like hardened over. It's like stale cream cheese frosting. There's something about that just really gets me going.
A little crackly and whatnot.
Exactly, a little crackly outer skin. It's nice. I don't know why.
I dig it.
Yeah.
I don't think I've had any cream cheese frosting recently, but I do enjoy it.
You need to go to one of those fancy cupcake places because they always have cream cheese frosting on their cupcakes.
See, we've talked about this. I like some desserts, but not enough to go to some swanky like cupcake joint and pay like $6 for a cupcake. I'd rather buy a beer.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, at least the beer gets inebriated. What about like a cheap, I'm trying to think of like a good, like a Cinnabon. Will you go for a Cinnabon?
So, Cinnabon they have at like the airport. So
yes.
If I'm sitting there at the airport is when, all judgment and morals go out the window just based upon the people that you see traveling in the airport.
Exactly. It's international waters. Nothing counts there.
Right. And so it's 9:00 in the morning and you're like, you kind of, look at yourself and you're like, yeah, I could eat a Cinnabon right about now. It's like 1,500 calories and you're like, let's go for it.
I could have a Cinnabon in one hand and then Bloody Mary in the other hand, and I would be perfectly okay with it as long as I was in an airport.
Now we're talking. And that's a wild thing. Like, you'll go to the bar at 7 a.m. at the airport, and that place is packed.
It's true. Well, I mean, truthfully, I think it's mostly people just doing what we're doing, and you're like, whatever, I'm on vacation. Like, I'm going to start drinking right now.
Go.
But also, you have to consider that, somebody might have just flown in overnight from Australia, and they might still be on, like, their weird local time. So you can't pass too much judgment. And I think those people, the long-haul travelers, give the rest of us alcoholics a lot of cover.
Right. I mean, I like the way you think of it.
Yeah.
That makes me feel less bad about it, I suppose. So I'm all in for it.
If I'm at the airport bar drinking at 7 a.m. and somebody tries to talk to me, I put on my fake Australian accent.
Do you really?
No.
Oh.
I can't even. I'm the world's worst when it comes to fake accents. So
have I told you this? I hate getting my hair cut because you sit down in the chair and then usually somebody hits you with like, ooh, it's been a hot one today, huh? And you're like, that's your attempt at starting a conversation? So if they ever ask me, hey, like, what do you do for work? Every time it's the same story. I'm an astronaut. And people get so into the conversation and you never have this like awkwardness.
Okay.
People are always so intrigued about someone who's an astronaut. And like, then it becomes like a game for me to like try to like stay engaged in the conversation, and it passes the time so fast.
Yeah, true. It would be like a skill testing thing. It's like, can I pull this off for the next like 30 minutes without getting busted?
It's like when you start the intro to the after show.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Is there oh, we should tell people, by the way, that we have a new gag in the after show. So this is more enticement to join our Patreon. But we now introduce every episode with a fake podcast intro.
Yes. And I told Zach last week that it's genuinely my favorite part of the night. I go into the after show and I'm like, unbutton my pants a little bit, slam down a couple drinks, get looser, and I'm like, here we go. What's Zach gonna hit me with tonight?
I think last week was Bubbles, where we talk about all the different carbonated beverages.
Yeah, well, we can't give them all away, Zach.
Okay. Well, I'm not giving away this week. That was last week.
Yeah, we gotta get people to sign up for our Patreon so we can get a couple dollars a month. That's even less after Patreon takes their exorbitant amount of fees.
Yes.
But,
it is painful sometimes when you see it's like, okay, here's what you're supposed to be getting every month, and then this is what you actually get. But,
it's like 10 or 15% fees because we do the merch thing.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
The new podcasting software has failed us, everybody. We've lost Eric.
What happened? Are we not live?
Oh, okay. We're still live. We lost you there for a second.
Like the live stream?
No, the live stream was maintained. So I think the problem was on your end or on the end of Riverside.
Well, we'll have to see what happens.
Yes, we'll see. We're not off to a good start here.
Yeah. So I guess behind the scenes for everybody.
Let's do this. Let's talk about what's going on behind the scenes.
So we're honest about this. We're podcasting. We typically just record locally on our computers, and we have two separate files. Zach attaches them into one. Yep. But then we had an issue where we had Mark from Remarkable Works on, and during the after show, he had forgotten to record his after show component. So we basically lost a 2-hour after show, which is a real bummer. So then we tried finding a way to basically make a backup, like kind of recording our call and recording locally. So we tried one last week called Zencastr. It worked smoothly, but you couldn't edit. You couldn't do anything to the audio. So it was useless.
Yeah. It was, I guess it's nice in the sense that you have a cloud backup of the recording. Like if we had a guest, it would have solved our issue with what happened with Mark. But it kind of bills itself as this all-in-one podcasting solution. And I think what we're looking for is something that takes all the audio tracks, mixes them together, and then spits us out a podcast on the other side.
Yeah, and I don't care how much money we have to pay for it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because, the time goes into editing, and time is money, et cetera, et cetera. Like, if there's a nice simplified solution that's also a kind of foolproof thing that we can just send to guests that simplify our guest lives too.
Right.
It's, we're more than willing to pay a couple bucks a month for it. So right now we're in a kind of awkward phase where we're just testing out different softwares.
Yes.
So tonight we're trying a new one called Riverside.fm.
Not sponsored.
No, not sponsored in any way. And honestly, it already screwed up once on us. So
yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. If that was a one-off, we'll let it go. But if it becomes a consistent thing, I don't know. That really ruins the rhythm of a good podcast.
Yeah. I mean, we could always go back to that Zencastr thing as a backup and then just have to manually edit it. But I know that takes you time. And
exactly.
If we can pay $20, $50 a month to get it auto-edited, I'm all down for that.
Exactly.
But we got any questions come through in the live stream? No questions yet. But did you get any questions on your Instagram?
I did. And this one comes courtesy of my partner, Sophie. But I think it's a good question.
Could you hear the fizz on that? Was it close enough?
I could hear the fizz.
Was it nice?
I heard the initial ka-cha. And then also a little backdrop of just fizzing away into nothing. It was great.
It's cherry, if you couldn't tell.
I could tell it was cherry when you held it up to the mic like that. I wonder, can you hear mine? I don't know. Mine, so
yeah. Anyway, what's Sophie have to say?
Okay, she said, "What is something you think people misunderstand about you as a creator?"
That I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's That's a good one. That's a good one.
No, genuinely, like one of the hardest things that I get is somebody will send me like a, hey, I'm building this like hand spoke shaven like fancy ass chair,
Yeah.
and I'm like trying to make sure that like my hand cut mortises and like all these fancy words, I have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And they're like, do you have any tips about how I can do this better? And I literally just respond, I go, you are so far beyond my skill and comprehension level that
Mhm.
anything that I add to this conversation is more than likely detrimental.
Mhm. 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 Yeah, I think that's good. And also, I get this one a lot. People, I like to include like a lot of my mistakes in videos, and like,
Mm-hmm.
and also how I fix them. Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I had one video that I posted on YouTube as a short blow up lately, and people have just been ragging on me nonstop. Like, how could you screw that up? Like, you call yourself a professional, and like you made a mistake like this. It's like I don't call myself a professional. I've never once called myself a professional. It's like I try to present myself as just a guy screwing around in a garage, like trying to have fun with woodworking, right?
Hey,
Like,
I mean, we've all seen your work. It's a real hack job.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like I think people misconstrue like follower counts as like indication of skill,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
which it most certainly is not.
I mean, hell, if I were in this 100% to just improve my skills and just like fully focused on my skills, I would have never gotten into making content.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the content takes you away from like developing your skill set a lot of the time, right? Because you're investing so
Right.
much time into breaking things down into videos and little clips or whatever. You don't have the same amount of time to like. I would actually love to be able to spend some time as like a social media user, like looking at other woodworkers'
I don't
accounts
have
and
the
trying to like
time.
gather. Yeah, I know. I don't have the time, but I would love. I'm sure I'd be much better if I browse hashtags looking for tips and tricks from other
Oh,
people, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
100%. There's
yeah,
no doubt about it.
yeah. Or reading books or all this other, but it's like now most of the time I'm just head down editing video or working on my next project. So
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
hell, you know what I did today? I spent 8 hours going and like going through my online store, adjusting like the thumbnails for
Mm-hmm.
the like product pages and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. And then I've been working on a lot of back end stuff.
Have
Like,
you started changing all the thumbnails on your product pages to? I don't understand why people still do this.
no, but I should. No.
You should just all your plans should just be. I don't understand why people still do this volume one. I don't understand why people still do this volume two.
It's so stupid. I saw that you put out a YouTube short and puts a really stupid title. It was about like
uh
your 90-degree attachment for your drill. I
oh
didn't
yeah.
watch it obviously, but
I think I said I called it the Gonzo's nose of
yeah.
power tools.
Did you even bother to look at the comments on that?
No, no, of course not. Of course not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's too funny. That's too funny. Let's see. Hit me
there
with
was
another
a
question or something.
wait. There was another thing I wanted to say that I think people
Oh.
miss. People often think that things are sponsored when they're not. I think people
Oh,
think
yeah.
there's a lot more low key sponsoring going on than really occurs. Like, have you ever had somebody comment on a video like about how you like put the label of a can like facing towards the camera so people would
Oh,
see the
yeah.
product? I've gotten a few of those comments before. It's like, no, that's just literally the way. Like, I put no attention into putting the can
Right.
down. That's just how it happened to be.
Right.
Yeah,
But
somebody said that.
But at the same time,
Yeah,
it's I know that there is kind of a black and white, and I've gotten people asking me about this. Like, hey, if I'm doing a YouTube video and, you know, like, everybody knows that's been listening to this, you get a lot of your tools for free from DeWalt.
yes, yeah,
So, I mean, no, they didn't sponsor this video,
Mm-hmm.
but they have sponsored you in the past, and like,
Yeah.
are you supposed to disclose it every single time, or is it just like commonly known
Yeah.
knowledge? Like, the video would be so disruptive if every time you like pick up this DeWalt tube, oh, by the way, they sent this to me for free. Oh, this box of screws, they sent this to me for free.
Yes.
No one would watch it.
But I will also, yeah, that's a good point. That is a very good point. I see sometimes like I haven't done it in a while, but a lot of the time, like if I have a specific project planned, I will, and I request a tool for that project.
Yeah.
I will say, like I requested this from. I've said that in quite a few videos, but a lot of the time, like they sent me something a year ago, and now I'm using it in this video. It's like, yeah. Like you were saying, you were watching somebody's video, and they did a little disclosure at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, I've seen something where like they'll be like, oh, I got this drill, and it'll just say like in a small like lower third kind of thing, just add gifted product for like 2 seconds.
I kind of like that. If I didn't think that would add a lot of extra work to editing videos, I would do that all the time. But you know what? I might start, because I do think that kind of disclosure is important. Yeah. But it's never like DeWalt will never send me a tool and be like, make sure it's in your next video and the label is facing towards the camera.
Right.
And make sure that it's captured. They'll just send me stuff and be like, use it, enjoy it. If it winds up in a video or something like that, like all the better.
Right.
And a lot of the time I like to talk about this. Like I just did a bunch of Instagram videos about stuff like DeWalt tools, because I was like, man, I need some content. Let me talk about these tools, like these new tools that I've gotten over the past year. So
they didn't pay you for that though.
No, and they've never once even hinted that they would like something like that. So,
but I mean, genuinely asking, do you feel obligated in that situation to say #ad, #sponsored?
No, I don't.
I don't either.
Yeah. It's interesting. For me, the line is if I'm getting paid to do something. If it's like, and you know what? I would do #ad, #sponsored if DeWalt sent me a tool and they were like, you have to make a post about this tool.
That's fair.
Because then it's a clear exchange versus, you know what I mean? It's like a quid pro quo versus sometimes, it's hard, man. It's a tricky line to walk, right?
I know, I agree. So my general rule of thumb is like, if a brand sends me something and the specific deliverable in return is I will give you this if you do this.
Yes.
Then yes, I would do it.
Yeah.
Especially if there is money exchanged. Like for a specific Instagram video, if there's money exchange, 100% every time I'm putting the ad paid partnership thing, if the brand ever approves that.
Yeah.
But it sucks because as soon as you do that, that post is buried.
I know, that's the worst thing about it too, is that I don't know if that's I'm curious if that's a thing that Instagram does.
Yeah.
Or if that's a thing that Instagram does as a result of people not engaging with the content. You know, like people see the paid partnership thing and they just swipe away immediately because they don't want to be bothered with an ad, which is fair.
Yeah.
Or if does Instagram have something where it, tweaks your reach or like, limits the reach of your post because it's a paid ad?
Yeah, dude, there's so much gray area. Or like, what if a brand sends you something that they paid you to run an ad for on Instagram, but then you use this tool on YouTube? Do you have to, it's exhausting.
It is really exhausting to think about.
No one is maliciously trying to hide the fact that they're getting paid or not getting paid for something.
Yes.
At least I can say from my perspective, and probably from your perspective as well. We're not
Yeah.
trying to be malicious. But
Yeah.
it's also, unless I'm giving a specific review, I don't think it's any of your damn business.
I don't think I would ever. Well, I mean, I have done it. I don't think I would do it in the future. I don't know if I would ever post a review of something that a brand gave me.
What if you did a review like I did where I bashed how awful the tools that the brand gave
Well, that's
me?
the one time I did do it was with my Duros. I got the who makes the Duros?
Merca.
Merca. Yeah, I got the Merca Duros, and it was like given to me in like a roundabout
Yeah.
way because Mark gave it to me. But I did a review of it, and I feel like I actually went a little harder on it than I would have. And I also disclosed in the video that I got it for free.
Yeah.
But it does create a little bit of a conflict of interest. Like even when I posted that security camera video,
Yeah.
people were like, "Oh, this is a nice review." I was like, "It's not really a review." Like I was just like,
Yeah.
I didn't want it to come across as a review. It was just like how I set the security system up in my. It was kind of like a show and tell almost.
I get what you're saying, though. I think what you're saying is you've done it in the past. However, you feel like going on in the future, it's probably not something that you want to embark on again.
Yeah, I would like to on one hand because I would like to do like more tool review content and stuff like that, but I don't also want to be constantly buying tools that I'm not going to like. I don't want to go out and buy a Milwaukee Impact driver just to review it because then it's just going to sit on my shelf and never get used again, right?
You can return it.
Could return it. I did actually. I definitely have thought about that before, but it seems a little scummy to do that as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's tricky.
I don't know. I feel like we could go on for days and days about the gray area of this.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
You got another question for me on Instagram?
Yeah, this okay, so this one is also from Sophie as well.
Oh, okay. She's the star.
I know. She's getting a lot in right now. She said, "What's the best part of your job as a creator?"
You want to go for? I answered first in the last one. You want to go first?
Okay. I think I mean just getting to explore my own creativity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just getting to well, we're going to go explicit on this one. Just dicking around in the shop and building the stuff that I want to build. That's the dream to me, right? So yeah, that's and I think second to that is just interacting with people, like, you know, the nice comments you get, the nice emails you get, like all those little things. Like, you know, I've built dozens of houses for people and nobody's ever wrote me a letter afterwards to say that I made a big impact on their life. But you know, like I get random emails like that from people now, and it's really nice to hear. So yeah.
No, I would definitely echo what you're saying as far as like the fact that you and I get paid to be like, I got this idea in my head. And I'm going to get paid to explore that idea. Like, that's sweet.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if it's an epic failure.
Yeah.
You can explore the idea and just kind of document yourself doing it, and you get paid.
Yeah.
Not bad. Not a bad gig.
Exactly, right? So it's I consider myself very lucky to be in that position.
Right.
And also think the free tools. Oh, yeah. Let me talk about all the free tools. Yeah.
Dude, I don't know about you. I mean, I think we've talked about this in the past. Like, it's gotten to the point where, for the most part, most brands you and I could reach out to and get almost whatever we want within reason for free. But a lot of times it's not worth it. I would rather just go buy the damn thing myself.
Yes. And you'll see it more in future videos that I have coming up. But I've definitely, just because I don't want to go through the hassle, like I'll just go buy stuff for videos.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I felt like I had a segue. I was going to get at something. The best thing, I don't know. Oh, yeah. But no, like you said, meeting people. Like when I was at that the festival event a couple weeks ago, just getting to meet all the people in the community, even people like other content creators, and just people locally. They're like, "Hey, I watch your stuff. I really enjoy it." Like, it's just so cool to get to meet the people that I'm impacting. Like,
Yes.
when you're out building homes and stuff, do you ever like meet the homeowners?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
cool, right? Because you get
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, I get to see, Joe and Debbie. They finally get into this house. And you're like, yeah, like I built this. Like, check this. You know what I mean? Like, that's cool.
Yes. Yeah, there's definitely that aspect to it, which is fun, but it's not the same scale, right? Like
Right.
I'll work on somebody's house for the better part of a year. So
Right.
I'll develop a relationship with that one person, but it's like it's just one person, whereas on YouTube or Instagram or whatever, it's hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
But I would say, kind of contrary to that, one bad thing is that since we are engaging directly or indirectly with so many people, that it's also very difficult to engage everybody in super, super deep, genuine conversation. Like, it's not feasible.
Impossible. And that does really suck. Like there are legitimately emails in my inbox right now that I have been wanting to respond to for like 2 weeks.
Sure.
And I just haven't had the time to sit down and do it. Which is tough. It's like you're operating at scale, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure we're both getting dozens of messages a day on the low end, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So it's tough. It's really tough to time manage, and it sucks because there's a lot of people who are like, I'd like to engage this person and have a genuine conversation about whatever it is they want to. They're like, oh, I have this question about how to build this credenza, like how do you install your drawer slides and all this. It's like I would love to sit there and spend the time with that person to figure that out, but
I can't, and it sucks because I want like if I ran into, like, I had people asking me questions like that at this festival event that I went to, and I was like, hey, let's grab a drill, grab some, because I had wood and stuff. I was like, I'm going to show you how I do it.
Yeah.
And like that was super fun.
Yeah.
But I can't do that for everyone.
Yeah.
And it sucks because I want to help.
A lot of the time you're trying to do it over email, or you're trying to do it over like Instagram DM or something like that, and it's like that's a very slow medium to try and communicate like ideas about woodworking.
Yeah. So one of the tips that I got from Christy at Oak Hill Millworks is she was like, whenever people ask me a question on Instagram through DMs, instead of typing it, I just send them a voice note.
Yeah.
Because then she can just like talk freely, send it, and it's more work for the other person because they just can't read it and scan it. But it's like, that's a trade-off, right?
Yeah, I'm just not a very eloquent person, and as soon as I hit that record button, I start panicking about all my ums and ahs.
Yeah,
it's just a mess. But yeah, no, she's right. That is a better way to do it.
I've got I actually have something I want to talk to you about in the after show about people sending you letters.
Oh,
dude, I got the weirdest effing email I have ever received.
Okay,
from somebody.
Do you say this is after show content?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was very strange, very uncomfortable, and I thought it was potentially sexually charged, and I had no idea how to react to this email that I got.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing about this email.
All right. Well, real quick, I want to change it up. This isn't something we regularly do. I want to give a shout out to everybody in the live stream.
Oh yeah, we got a bumping live stream today.
Wes Willard, Craig Hegan, Josh at Freedom Workshop, Scott Walsh, Corey Duvall, John A. We got John at Lincoln Street, and I miss anybody? I think that's what we got. That's who we're rocking with right now.
Yes, those are all the people who are chatting. We can't see people who are watching.
Oh yeah, I can't see anybody who's actually watching.
All you wallflowers, if you're just watching, you got to say something if you want to get included in the roll call.
Yeah, absolutely. But we do the live stream every week, so you can watch and listen to the podcast before we release it, because I typically put it out on Saturday mornings.
Yeah, you know what? That's a benefit that we don't often talk about, is that the live stream comes out on Tuesday, whereas the podcast comes out on Saturday.
That's true.
Because it takes me 4 whole days to edit each episode.
Yes. These are the things that people don't know. It's not just like, boom, press record, good to go. It takes Zach 4, 8, 24, 30, 32 hours to edit this podcast. 32 working hours to edit.
I had to mix each little wave. Forget it. This joke's going nowhere. Let's move on.
That was stupid.
Yeah, that was stupid.
So crazy messages. Oh, dude, I got a crazy message the other day in a good way.
Okay.
I probably can't go into too many details about it, but I got invited in, I'll just say Q1 because I don't want to potentially mess up any dates, to a festival event during Q1. Day 1 is something let's just say new tools.
Okay.
Day 1.
Okay.
Day 2 and 3 is they're bringing in, I have no idea how many people. My assumption is like 5 to 10 people. And they're doing this basically like charity build-off thing.
Oh,
where
cool.
I think they're going to be 2 teams. And each team like is a group of several content creators or whatever. And we all build like a piece of furniture or something. And then afterwards, it's partnered with Rubio Monocoat.
Sweet.
I think they're like friend companies or something, but
yeah, there is some relationship there, isn't there?
and I don't know what it is, but
yeah,
somehow related.
It's the 2 companies that every YouTube creator likes. You know what I mean?
They get mad. Commenters get mad if you use any of them or a combination of the 2.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, but it sounds like a really cool opportunity to basically be building furniture with other people that I've probably met. I have no idea who's going.
You got to ask around.
Yeah. Well, I know one person that's probably pretty obvious, the festival person. If anybody watches YouTube, they're like, "Oh, this guy only has festival stuff. He'll be there." But yeah, I'm just excited to get more details about it and do like a build off for charity. I think it'd be a really cool event.
Yeah, it'd be really. Are they going to film it and like make a YouTube video out of it or something?
I have no idea.
Cool. Nice.
But it would be cool to go check out like the festival headquarters and like meet some other people there. And like, I always find it really interesting to see like warehouses and like just see the sheer volume of things that places are shipping out and whatnot. So it'll be cool.
Wait, is it in Ohio? Are they going to fly you out?
No, it's in Indiana. So it's only like 3 hours away from me.
Okay.
So I'll just drive out there and stay a couple days. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm excited. See, we got any questions that came up?
I just want to give a quick shout out to Luke Schmidt in the live stream. What's up, Luke?
Hey!
After we said people had to say something in order to get included in the roll call, he said something. So
yeah, we'll try to do our best to keep up on it. This is the first time I think either of us have shouted out the fact that we're doing the podcast on our Instagram stories. So
yeah.
See if it turns up. We're seeing a lot of growth in the podcast recently, but it is hands down by a landslide the lowest audience of anything we do. Because it's tough to grow a podcast. That's just the truth.
Yeah. But they are also the most engaged and probably the best looking and smartest audience of any of my audiences. So that's definitely worth something.
Oh yeah. Hit me with another question. How many questions you got on Instagram? I don't want to just
I think that might have been it. I only posted it like 45 minutes before we started.
Okay.
So
I just wanted to make sure that we didn't have like 1,000 that we were trying to get through.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I think those are the only 2 so far. I should really post it earlier. We'll do that next week. We'll post it like the morning of before the show.
Yeah. Well, what have you been working on? What's Zach been up to the last week, man? Still building the house?
I did, still building the house. I did my DeWalt giveaway on the weekend.
How did that go?
It was good. So it was harder than I expected.
I guess rewind for a bit so people who maybe don't know what you're talking about can get up to speed.
Very, very, very quick recap. I convinced DeWalt to give me about $5,000 worth of tools. I then took those tools, went to a Home Depot parking lot, found people pushing carts of like materials to their car. I was like, hey, looks like you could use a X, and I gave them that tool essentially.
Okay. Yep.
So that was the video. I shot that on Saturday. It was harder than I thought. One, it was just like really cold that day, so we were kind of freezing a little bit, and it makes people not wanna. Well, it made me too not want to like hang out and talk for too long with people.
Yeah, because you're cold.
Because they're cold, and yeah. So and also I went to Home Depot on a Saturday, which in retrospect is probably the slowest day of the week. In terms of just like foot traffic.
Oh yeah, I didn't.
My
think
plan
about that.
was to. I wanted to get more kind of like DIYers and like homeowners and stuff like that than just like straight up contractors who already would have like a full assortment of tools. And I think I kind of got like a fair mix between the two. But it took me and Bryson. We were there from 10 a.m. to probably 4 p.m. when the sun went down.
Wow.
Trying to give stuff away, like, you know, just there weren't really that many people out shopping, but the people who did get stuff really appreciated it. It was a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I think I lost a camera though, which I'm not super psyched on.
What?
Just my little action. I think I can't find my little action camera that had a bunch of footage on it, so I'm like kind of a little bummed about that.
Oh, that's a
I'm
bummer.
I'm not the type of person to lose things either, especially expensive electronics.
Yeah, but I mean, it's tiny. It might have been jammed in a bag, dropped it somewhere in a coat pocket, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope you can find it.
Yeah, me too. But if not, excuse to buy a newer, better one.
Did you get any? I know you were kind of like really hoping that you'd get some like sob story. Did you get anything like that?
So I got one that was not really a sob story, but so at a certain point I was having trouble finding people, so I put out the call on Instagram. I just did an Instagram story. I was like, here's my address. I'm going to be here for the next few hours giving away tools. So if you want to come.
Oh,
so
nice.
One of my followers on Instagram actually sent his brother to come meet me. So he's a shop teacher at a local high school.
Nice.
And so the tool was for the kids in the class.
Nice.
So he got the big expensive miter saw to take and give to the kids. Yeah, so I was pretty pumped on that. And then another one, like this like very nice couple, probably about my age, and were like building a bench in their house. So I gave them a circular saw for it, and I don't think the girl teared up, but she wanted to hug me, and it was a good time.
And you're like, oh, back off, lady.
Yeah, don't you know I'm in a relationship? Get off me.
Ew, cooties. So are you going? You got Bryson working overtime trying to edit that video before Christmas?
Yeah, you know what? I think he'll be okay. I think it's not as insane an amount of footage as I thought it would be. Plus, I lost one of the cameras, so hey, that cuts down significantly on the amount of footage he has to cut down. But
so
I think
I want to know how many people did you like run out and you're like, hey, excuse me, do you want a tool? And they're like, get away from me, you creep.
Basically, so that happened, I would say 3 or 4 times.
Really?
Once one guy was loading up a bunch of 2x4s in his truck, and I was like a lot, like 100 into the back of his truck. And I was like, this guy's doing some framing. I'm going to see if this guy wants to laser level. And I went up to him. I was like, excuse me, sir, can I bother you for a second? He's like, no. I was like, oh, okay. I was just like giving away free tools today. He's like, no. I was like, okay, all right. It's just like,
in all fairness, a lot of times that comes with, all you have to do is fill out the survey or like answer a few questions. Like, no, F off.
But I also had like a $600 laser level in my hand too. So like
the battery powered one?
Yeah,
the 360?
Yeah.
Send that my way.
Yeah, well, so I decided that one I had left at the end of the day. So I'm going to do it as like a giveaway in the video. Like people in the video can just comment their Instagram handle and I'll just pick one of them randomly and then I'll send the laser level to them. So
nice. I like that.
Yeah, make sure you
Spencer Design Co.
Yeah, exactly. And then just a couple other people, like I'd be like, hey, can I talk to you for a minute? Like I'm giving away tools today. They'd be like, no, I'm not interested, and just keep moving. So
yeah.
But fair enough. I get it. Like I was approaching people randomly. Also, I had like Bryson with a camera like right behind me. So it's like it's a lot of pressure.
It's not very Canadian like for people to be that rude.
Yeah, true. But
I mean, that's a stereotype of Canadians that they're just overly nice.
But there's also Canadians are nice, but there's also the gruff contractor stereotype, right? And the two
Okay.
kind of cross over, and yeah, sometimes the gruffness wins out.
I get that. I get that. You should have gotten Derek from Bad to go give away those tools.
I know. He's much more charming than I am, so I feel
That's
like
what
he
I'm
would
saying. He's the most charming person I've ever met.
exactly. He probably would have had a lot more success than me. And the other thing I didn't account for was like, I think I've talked about this before, but I'm a pretty deep introvert. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like approaching strangers for 8 hours is like my version of hell.
Yeah, I'm sure that was exhausting.
Yeah, so when I got back, I was like, I just want to lay down and I don't want to do anything for the rest of the day. And also, you're freezing cold and stuff. So it was a long day, but it was a lot of fun, and the people appreciated it, which was the main thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm glad it worked out well. Did you get some Popeyes afterwards?
I did not. No, Bryson had to roll because he lives like an hour away from me.
Oh wow.
So I dropped him off at the train station, and yeah.
That's
I got
some
Popeyes the next night, I think, though. So.
Did you figure out the pricing debacle at your Popeyes?
Yeah, so I went again, and I was fired up. I had the app ready with the price on it and everything. I was going to throw down with the guy behind the going to throw down with the guy behind the cash register, and he was like, "Okay, here's it." Like he rang it up, and it was the normal price. So,
was it the same individual that was ringing you out?
I think so. But
here's what I think's happening.
Okay, hit me.
This guy is running a giant scheme where
I'm with you already.
Yeah, he's overcharging every single person, pocketing the leftover money, and then he's buying he's going to McDonald's, taking all this leftover money from McDonald's, and he's trying to win the McDonald's monopoly thing, but he has not been able to get Boardwalk yet. That's why he's starting to scam off the top of Popeyes, because he can't find Boardwalk.
It's you've connected all the dots. It's perfect.
Did you see the newest thing on Netflix that's like Pepsi, Where's My Jet?
Yeah, I actually remember that from back in the day. Like, do you remember that promotion?
Vaguely.
Just the whole concept of like collecting bottle caps or whatever. It's yeah. I haven't watched the full thing yet, but I remember some guy was actually crazy enough to do it, right? He collected enough points that they had to give him a jet.
Yeah. It was like he ended up buying like a distribution center or something like that. Or,
oh, really?
I think based upon the preview that I'd seen, but I have not watched it yet.
Look, kid, we can't give you a jet, but what we can give you is a distribution center.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, speaking of crazy kids, we have a new patron this week.
Oh, craziest kid.
Yeah, well, I'd say it's Corey. I'm going to go with Reyes.
Rayes?
Rehs.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, let's go with Reyes. Corey, write us if we're wrong.
Yeah, but Corey is a Rigid fan.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I was thinking there was a new tier of power tool that I was thinking that we should add to...
Porter Cable?
No, not Porter Cable.
I saw your video that you put out today.
Did you?
I like that. It was interesting.
Thank you. Yeah, it was fun. There was... I'll think of it. Maybe we'll talk about it in the after show, but I had a good one.
All right. Well, let me know. And then returning our top tier patrons, we have our Cockers. We have Jason Price, Derek Jennings, Corey Duvall, and Scott Eastman at AC's Woodshop.
Man, we're getting a lot of Cockers.
I know. Yeah, a lot of Cockers around here. And also our Power Cocker. Our Power Cocker, formerly known as Wes. So all those people and all of our other patrons get access to the after show. It's basically an entire another podcast, a bunch of other cool perks and stuff. But if you want to check that out, go to patreon.com/offthecutpodcast.
Perfect.
So I had a question that somebody messaged me about a while ago, and it was just kind of more of a general question, but I thought it was interesting.
Okay.
And the question was, what things do you spend a lot of time on that no one notices? For example, think drywall. No one in the world notices if you do a perfect drywall job, but everyone notices if it's like, mediocre.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
It's a tough question.
It is a tough question. In terms of content, I feel like I spend a lot of time doing sound design in my videos, and I guarantee nobody notices that. Like,
so what do you mean? Like you do like audio, like EQ adjustments and stuff?
No. So here's an example. I'm talking. I'm doing a roll. I'm like, hey everybody, what's up? This is the best video ever, and I'm gonna go cut something on my miter saw. So go from a roll to miter saw. What I'll do a lot of the time is while I'm still talking, I'll take the sound clip from the miter saw spinning up. You know that noise that a miter saw makes as it spins up? I'll put that behind me while I'm still doing the A-roll, just like faintly in the background. And then it builds. And then when you get to the scene of the actual miter saw like going down to cut the piece of wood, you've already been hearing the sound for like a second at that point.
That's fair. So it's not like it's just like, oh, he's cutting it.
Exactly. It's not like such a hard cut. It's just like this little build-in behind the scene. You don't even see it. You hear it before you see it.
That's fair.
And I'll do the opposite too. Like a lot of the time, like if I'm going from a close-up shot of cutting something to a roll, then I'll have like the sound of the tool like powering down be like underneath my a roll and just fading to nothing.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I like that. But I think that's a perfect example because I don't think I've ever noticed that you've done that. Yeah. However, I'm sure if you didn't do it and it was like just I'm talking and then hard cut to you'd be like, oh, that was a little jarring, but also maybe you wouldn't really care. I don't know.
I don't think anybody really cares, but if you see it side by side, you're like, oh, that just flows a little nicer.
Yeah.
Like it just feels better. But again, I think it's more one of those things I do for me because it's like I like it better, and I know it's not getting me any more views or any more clicks or anything like that, but it's just fun.
That's fair. So I think that's a good example. I want to do a content creation and then like a physical making example. So
okay.
My content creation example is actually something I stopped doing. Mm-hmm. And that was like trying to go and like color correct and like add LUTs and film grain and like all these.
Oh, I've never done film grain before.
So for anybody who has no idea what we're talking about, it's because no one ever notices. When you edit a photo, you can like adjust like your contrast and your white balance and, you know, all of these different things so you can make a photo look a lot better. Well, you can do the exact same thing to video. But in a typical build video that Zach and I do, we would have several hundreds of clips, which would mean that you would have to effectively go edit several hundred photos.
Yeah.
I used to do that and then realized that no one noticed or cared.
Yeah.
And it was just a complete waste of my time, so I stopped doing that.
If I see one that's like particularly egregious, if it goes from like hard blue to hard yellow, like a really bad color shift or something like that, sometimes I'll correct them, but I won't spend a lot of time on it, to say the least.
Or if one is like super, super overexposed, so like your whole frame is white and then the next shot is unbelievably dark, then sure.
That's one of those things too that gets better just like by spending more money on a better camera.
That too.
Yeah. My old camera was really bad for it, but my new one's quite a bit better.
So give me an example of something that you spend a lot of time on that no one notices if you do it well, but everybody notices if you do it poorly when it comes to physically making something.
I mean, just take the example from the question, doing drywall. Yeah, like that's pretty much the perfect one. I'm trying to think about like when it comes to like actual like stuff that I post on YouTube, like my furniture projects and stuff like that.
So mine would be sanding.
Yeah.
Whenever somebody comes over, especially with my dining table, because it's right in the front door, this mysterious dining table.
The alleged dining table.
It's my longest video I've ever made, but I still haven't put it out yet. everybody comes over and they instantly want to touch it. I'm talking about the table.
Are you though?
And people just assume that a piece of furniture should be smooth, right? So nobody is going to touch it and go, wow, Eric, you sanded this so well.
Right.
People just assume that it's supposed to be smooth. But if you did an absolute hack job on the sanding or just didn't sand it,
that's a good
I think
point.
people would touch it and they'd be like, huh.
Yep.
I don't know what's wrong, but it doesn't seem quite right.
Yeah, this table's grippy. Why is it grippy?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one. Sanding is definitely important in terms of, like you're saying, like feel. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I think most people think like wood just comes perfectly smooth from the store and you just slap it together and it's good to go.
Right.
Yeah. I think applying the finish, I take a lot of time, like, and I try and get like all the little, again, it's like what you're saying, it comes down to the feel of it, right? Like if you get like a little bubble in your finish or you get like a little piece of lint trapped in there, you're going to feel that forever when you're running your hand over it. And, you know, when it catches the sun at a weird angle or something like that, you see that little spot. It's like, I really should have spent more time finishing it. So I try to avoid that as much as possible.
You know the easy solution, though, right?
Rubio monocoat. And a festival sander.
Just stop using film finishes.
Oh yeah, that too. But then if you don't use film finishes, you get the coaster, the rings from your drinks. All these oil finishes are killing me.
Dude, I'm telling you, get Rubio or that vesting stuff. All you got to do, you just put your drink on there, and then if you get a little ring, you literally just take like a wet paper towel and just like wipe the table off real quick and it's gone.
Yeah, okay. As long as it's gone after. If you were you go get another can, you mix it up, you apply it, and then you don't touch it for 3 weeks, and it's fine. I would take issue with that. But if you could just wipe it with a little paper towel, it's good to go. That's
like our dinner table, the mysterious dinner table that nobody's seen. I don't use coasters. I just set like my can of bubbly or beer or whatever just straight on it. And like, yeah, you get little coaster marks or ring marks. But even if you just like lick your finger and rub it, it's immediately gone.
Okay. I could deal with that, I guess. The film finish, like my desk, I like every week we sit here, we usually have drinks and stuff while we're recording the podcast. I eat at my desk all the time. Doesn't have a single imperfection on it. With a poly finish, with a film finish on it. So,
did you use polyacrylic? Did you use polyurethane? What did you use?
I used actually a hardwood floor finish from a company called Saman Stain. I think it might be. I was gonna say I think it might be a Canadian company, but it might not be. I can't remember honestly.
I like that. Sounds very manly.
Saman, man, it's right in the
sounds
name.
like a strong baseball name.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Saman up to bat at the plate. I don't know baseball.
So I've got one other thing that I had on my list that I wanted to ask you about.
Okay.
And I don't know if you've seen this crop up recently.
Oh.
Instagram subscriptions.
Yes, I have. I've seen many people do it. I don't understand why. And I don't think I'll do it.
So I got the little thing that came through. They're like, do you want to set one up?
Oh, okay.
And so I was like, what the hell? I looked at it. And I'm genuinely telling anybody who's listening to this that it's stupid. It's the dumbest thing in the world. The perks are you get like a crown next to your name if you leave a comment or like you message me.
Oh, wow. What kind of crown are we talking about? Like gold crown, silver crown?
I think it's green or purple. I'm not sure. Not the best color.
Yeah. I was really hoping for jewel encrusted.
Yeah. Supposedly you can like make private chats between all of your like subscriber people or something like that.
Little community thing going on.
Yeah, but then they're like, okay, well then you can make stories and reels who are only for your subscribers. Why the hell would I put time into making a story or reel that could potentially be making me money?
Yeah.
as opposed to just sending it out to like the handful of people that are going to be in the subscriber thing. Like, why the hell would I do that?
Well, I mean, the counter argument to that, why the hell do we do the after show? Because that's like we could be putting those out as separate podcasts, potentially growing our audience. You know what I mean?
Fair. I mean,
right?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, you make a valid point.
Devil's
make a valid point.
Got you.
No, I appreciate that. It just seems, but I mean, a podcast is so much less work to make an hours of content. You know how long it takes us? An hour.
Yes. Yeah, I'm like genuinely excited to sit down and make the podcast every week. Whereas when it comes to making reels, I'm like, oh God, not this again.
I know, because you're like me. YouTube is your main platform. It's the platform that interests you. It's the platform that you consume the most. And everything else is just shit I have to do.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
It seriously is, though.
So true.
I don't enjoy making 15-second videos on Instagram because somebody goes, well, how do you do this afterwards? I'm like, yeah, it'll be in the next video. Well, can you explain it more? Just watch the YouTube video.
Come on. Yeah.
But I know not everybody's on there. It's just, I don't know. The fact that Instagram is dying, I don't even care.
Dude, my Instagram had no interest in doing it lately, and I really haven't. Like, I've been posting stories because I enjoy that. I have like a lot of back and forth with people about the stuff I'm building. But in terms of posting reels and photos and stuff, it's I don't know.
I have so many that I can post, so I just wake up in the morning. I'm like, I got some I can throw on there, but like, I just don't care. It's not interesting to me.
Yeah. Oh, hey, I just this little teaser for the after show. I think a brand tried to bribe me.
Oh.
Yeah. How's that for clickbait?
I'm already trying to click. A brand tried to bribe you?
I'll explain in the after show. I think you'll like this.
Oh, man. Dude, I had some weird interactions with brands because, like I told you, for whatever reason, YouTube was going just bananas for me.
Yeah.
Like I got like over 1 million views in like a week and a half.
That's crazy.
Like, what in the actual hell is going on? Loving it while it's happening. It's all A/B testing. 100%.
True. And this is a great time of year too because the ad payment. What was that?
I got a notification on eBay.
Oh, nice. This is a great time of year to be going crazy because the AdSense money is really good right now.
Oh yeah. Well, that not only is like my views going through the roof, but AdSense money is up like crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm living the life right now.
That's right.
Man, if every month was like this, I'd be buying I don't know, what do you want to buy? A yacht?
A yacht? Yeah, okay. Yeah, we can buy a yacht. We can podcast from a yacht. Is if the northern part of Ohio, what is that? Like Michigan?
Yeah, like I think it's like Lake. I mean, I think it touches.
Or is it Lake Erie?
Yeah, I'm not a geologist. I don't know much about maps.
Okay.
I think Lake Erie is one of them. We might hit Lake Michigan. I don't know. It's one body of water. Let's be honest.
Here's the point. I was gonna say I think they're all connected. So I could go from Lake Ontario down to Lake Erie or Lake Michigan and meet up with you in our yachts.
Yeah,
and we can record the podcast in person.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm totally down with that, dude. I want to know. You got me chomping at the bit to know about this bribery thing.
Yeah. It's interesting. It might not be a bribe, but I think it might be a bribe.
Speaking of bribes, I just checked the a live stream.
Oh,
we've got Girls 69 XYZ back in there.
I did see that. We're getting the bot spam. You know what though? That means we're doing something right.
We got 60. We got 69 subscribers. Nice.
That's why we're getting the bot spam.
I don't know why people think that number is so funny, but I'll just go along with the joke. Well, what?
Do you actually not know what 69 means?
So I didn't know what it meant for quite a long period of time.
Or what are we talking like until 5th grade? Or?
Oh no, it was probably a late middle school or high school.
Oh, actually, you know how I found out was because I was in middle school and I registered my first email. So it was like ZacharyMS69 at hotmail.com. And my friend was
Nice.
like, you know what that means, right? Like, why did you?
69.
I was like, no, it was because Hotmail gave you like lists of suggested
Yeah.
like names or like suffixes that you could put if your email was taken. And I was like, no, it's just it auto generated that for me. It's like, oh, dude, we got to have a talk. And then he explained what 69 meant to me.
Dude, I remember when I was in college and I worked at the shoe store.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I would have to go do job interviews, and oh my god, just some of the people would come in. Whew. I don't know how these people are alive in society, but anyway, you would see on their like little resume thing, they'd put their email. Well,
Oh no, I know where this is
any
going.
any sensible human being, after they've got through the days of like using like AOL Instant Message, and like you're like, you know, this email is going out to like a potential employer or like somebody reasonable. You change your email to some version, excuse me, of your name.
Yes.
So like somebody sees, and you use Gmail. Don't be an
Yeah.
animal using
Yeah.
Hotmail or
Hotmail.
Yahoo or MSN or whatever. But people would have these emails, and somebody would come in, and I'd look at their name, I'd look at their email, and it'd be like, like 420 party smoke at Gmail. I'm like, why are you putting this in your like your resume? Or like
Yeah.
badass baby basketball bitch, and you're like, what?
Well, at least she might have been really into shoes.
Yeah, that's true.
Basketball shoes only, mind you, but you know.
But like these are like, I mean,
No,
not
I
the exact emails, but like
Yes.
you would see just ridiculous email addresses from people, and it's like, you're in your 20s and 30s and 40s.
That's
Why
insane.
do you still have this?
I got Zachary MS when I was 16 or something like that, and I've literally never looked back. I was like, the perfect email.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Doesn't look like spam. You put it on a
Exactly.
resume, looks moderately professional. Like,
Exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So all the kids listening, get rid of your stupid email address.
Yes. Everybody is judging your email address, so make it something good.
This will be a good question, Zach. What are the acceptable email services to have? What do they call it? Email clients? Is that what or domains?
Domains, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are the acceptable email domains to use?
Dude, honestly, I would so obviously Gmail's fine.
Yeah.
Any custom domain is fine. That's
Yes.
baller status right there. And then I might respect like the odd like if you gave me some weird domain and I was like, what is that? I'd be like, oh, it's like a privacy focused email domain. I'd be like, okay, all right, that checks out. Anything else, just burn in hell.
Yeah. Even like the Apple one, it's like the whatever dot
Yes.
me. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, .me. Come on, you pretentious bastard. Get out of here.
Nobody wants that crap. Hotmail, Yahoo,
Yeah.
MSN,
All of those
AOL.
horrible. They make you look like an animal.
Yeah, just get out of here.
If raccoons had email addresses, they would be in Hotmail.
I couldn't agree more. Well, we're over an hour. What do you say we button things up here, go to the after show? Because I want to hear about this bribery, and I also want to tell you about this crazy ass message that I got.
We got some good stuff for the after show.
All right. Everybody, as always, we genuinely appreciate you listening. The best thing you can do to help the show grow is just tell people about it. Post it on your social media. Tell your friends about it. Tell your grandmother. Tell Kelly Clarkson.
What about Taylor Swift? Could they also tell Taylor Swift?
Only if she gets me tickets.
Okay.
I
heard
will
the tickets were going for like $20,000 or something ridiculous like
that. I
that.
will make this deal. If somebody listening can get me 2 tickets to either nights of the Cincinnati show, I will make you an offer you can't refuse.
Oh. Okay.
Cue the Godfather music.
I think on that note, we should end this podcast.
I agree. All right, everybody. We will see you next week, or if you're not too cheap, we'll see you at the after show.
See you, everybody.
See ya.
Okay, so hold on. Now I gotta go. Okay, so we're gonna
Okay,
stop.
audio.